Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, it's my pleasure to come on and answer the next session. My name is Olusoji Adeni. By way of introduction, I am on the board of governors for coffee, and I used to work for the United Nations. My role in the United Nations covered quite a bit of work in monitoring and evaluation. And then towards the end of my career with the UN, which spanned about 21 years, for 4 years, I was the chairman of the UN Global Staff Pensions Fund. When I took over in 2012, October 2012 precisely, the fund for that pension fund was $33 billion. And when I left on voluntary retirement in 2015, that fund was $55 billion. And at some point, I felt fulfilled. I felt like I had done what I could do. I didn't have any new ideas anymore at that point, and I wanted to do something different. So I resigned. And when I resigned, it was a whole lot of noise, negative noise, because a Nigerian had just resigned from a fund of $55 billion, almost twice the national budget. And they wanted to think, there must be something that the guy is running away from. So there was all kinds of inquiries to just check, where we were. And today, 2 years after, nothing missing, nothing found, and have been able to do my own business, after that. And I found that one of the biggest challenges that anyone trying to do it in Africa would face is financing that startup. It's getting people to believe and trust and fund that beautiful idea that we all carry. And I can tell you that there are so many young people out there in Africa, so many people in the diaspora who have brilliant ideas and would want to go back and implement them. But of course, they have to face that challenge of trust. They have to face that challenge of people believing in them, of setting up systems that will be measurable to the extent that they can be listened to. And today, I've been asked to anchor this keynote interview, aptly titled Beyond Philanthropy, How Do We Drive More Access to Finance for Africa Budding Entrepreneurs? The main speaker would have been Mr. Ashish Thakur, the CEO of Maro Group, but is unavoidably absent and has asked no less a person than the Executive Director and the Head of Global Partnerships, Rona Kotecha, to represent the organization. Please put your hands together as I bring Rona Kotecha to the podium. For the benefit of those who are not familiar with the Maro Group, I wish to say that Maro Group was founded by Ashish Thakur, and the company has a presence in more than 22 African countries, and its headquarters is located in Dubai. I had the privilege of meeting Ashish 4 years ago at the Africa Global Business Forum in Abu Dhabi. And I asked him a question: why would you locate your headquarters in Dubai? Why not anywhere in Africa? Your investments are in 22 countries in Africa, and you have chosen to be in Dubai. And he answered me and said, My reasons were purely logistical. As a business person, I want to be able to reach all those 22 countries in record time. I also want people who needed to see me from those 22 countries to come in and get visas in record time. And I agreed with him because it takes less than 3 days to get visa into Dubai. But try going into South Africa from any of those 22 other countries. Try coming into Nigeria from any of those other countries, even as an African. And you would know that it will be a pure logistics nightmare. And then before he finished, I took him up again and I said, Ashish, there's one other thing that I wanted to know. I read that you started your business at 18 years old, 15 years old. And I said, how was that possible for you to finance it? And again he smiled and answered me and said, you know what? Nobody trusted me from Uganda. Nobody trusted me even from Harare. Everyone wanted either a British company to fund or a Middle East company to fund. It was easier for me to get registration done in record time in Dubai. Again, I asked myself, try registering a business in Abuja. These are some of the limitations that prevent and stop the so-called ease of doing business in Africa. And that are the things that we need to think about as we look at the opportunities that, exist in that beautiful continent. Today, I'm going to have the pleasure of inviting the Executive Director of Mara Group, Mara Foundation, and Mara, Atlas Mara. I mean, I can go on and on. Please put your hands together as Rona Kuteka comes to the podium to address us before we start.
I have big boots to fill here today, so I do apologise in advance. I'm Rona Kuteka. I'm the Executive Director of Mara Foundation and also an advisory board member of the Mara Corporation. My brother Ashish sends his apologies that he's not able to be here today and address you himself. He is the founder of the Mara Corporation and also Mara Foundation. Mara Foundation was formed in 2009 with a view to enabling, empowering and inspiring entrepreneurs on the continent. An idea that stemmed from a young entrepreneur, Ashish Thacker, who started his first business at the age of 15 with a $5,000 loan. He understood firsthand the challenges faced by being a young entrepreneur from Africa, as I think you mentioned earlier. Today, Mara Corporation, a technology-centric company, a proud African brand, integrating technology to enable business growth and prosperity with innovative products and services, but delivered in a localized way. Mara Corporation also includes a diversified portfolio across sectors with case studies demonstrating strong growth and leadership. Mara Foundation is Mara Corporation's social enterprise, which started in East Africa. We soon realised through some of the mentoring and some of the components we offered that there was great demand for creating these vital connections between business leaders and also mentees, entrepreneurs. Today we have 3 initiatives that we focus on. Mara Mentor being the first one and our flagship initiative, Mara One-on-One, which is our speed mentoring event, and our Global Entrepreneurship Index. The first initiative, Mara Mentor, was launched in 2012. It's a free online mentoring platform that connects ambitious entrepreneurs and business leaders globally. Access through a web-based, through the web-based platform and also mobile applications. Mara Mentor enables ambitious and aspiring entrepreneurs to connect with peers and business leaders globally. Mara Mentor enables entrepreneurs to gain encouragement, support, guidance, and vital feedback required for the progression of business ideas and plans. We also work across industries and at every stage of business. Mara Mentor is open to everyone, but has a strong focus on young entrepreneurs and women entrepreneurs. When tertiary education isn't an option for some young people, Mara Mentor gives them the opportunity to think innovatively, connect with inspirational mentors, and really create a sustainable future for themselves, and thus creating jobs. The reason we focus on women is because women are great role models for girls. Number one, to remain in education, but also follow strong career paths themselves, and also become successful entrepreneurs, again, creating jobs. Most entrepreneurs at startup stage are not able to afford professional services or guidance at a cost. Mara Mentor is a great tool for startup and growth of businesses. Advice from mentors and tools on the platform assist entrepreneurs in accessing finance, staying up to date with events regionally and globally, and also giving them the opportunity to thrive where an idea would only remain an idea. Inspiring a collaborative approach to business startup and growth, some of the offerings on Mara Mentor include direct connections to mentors and entrepreneurs. So it doesn't necessarily mean just connecting to mentors, but also looking at peer networks across the continent. If someone working in Kenya in a particular industry also looks at someone in Nigeria, how do they collaborate, scale their business quicker, share knowledge, ideas, that sort of thing. You can also search on the platform by name, country or industry. You have access to a business how-to series, some of the stumbling blocks when accessing finance. If your business plan isn't up to scratch, your marketing plan doesn't have any foundation, it doesn't help when you're actually trying to access finance and gain trust of investors. We have a training and tools component on the platform and also a business course on there. Video interviews, discussion forums, articles, blogs. We have an opinion poll and also language integration to enable us to work in Francophone Africa. The platform isn't rigid, so you can connect. An entrepreneur can connect to 1 or 3 mentors at any given time, dependent on the skill set they require at that particular time. We wanted to make it quite different, not just one cohort coming in matched with mentors. And it is all about chemistry. If you don't get on with your mentor, you're not actually going to thrive or learn anything. You can connect to somebody regionally, globally, in that particular skill set or industry. Mara Mentor started as an Africa initiative but has organically grown into a global platform with over 850,000 users across 110 countries. It's still completely free to use. We believe through entrepreneurship it is possible to directly and indirectly impact many of the SDGs, hence the importance of supporting entrepreneurship. We work in collaboration with the local governments in Africa. We work with the UN Women, EY, McKinsey, Dalberg, and many other local partnerships. Mara Mentor enables a sustainable way to grow, which not only benefits entrepreneurs and communities they live and work in, but also they contribute to economies. Do support entrepreneurs on our platform. It's mentor.mara.com. We recently launched, also in November last year, we launched in Jordan to service the Arab states. And we had 150 entrepreneurs that attended from various countries. Just to mention, 75% of those were women. And some of them have travelled 3 hours to get to our event. Our second initiative is Mara One-on-One. It's an extension of the Mara Mentor program. It's a speed mentoring event that we run. Mentors and entrepreneurs applied to participate in the event through the Mara Mentor platform. The mentor will then interview a number of entrepreneurs, and then they will commit to 6 months of mentoring. We found these events extremely powerful in terms of the mentors also investing in businesses, investors coming along and liking the ideas, and helping those entrepreneurs take it from idea stage to actually scaling the business. These have taken place in Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, and also in London. We partnered with local partnerships to deliver those. Our third initiative is the Global Entrepreneurship Index. It's a biennial index that assesses 85 countries across 5 pillars: policy, education, entrepreneurial environment, infrastructure, and finance. All pillars are then fragmented further to determine the conduciveness of the entrepreneurial environment. The target audience for this index is policymakers, governments, private sector, and investors, to name a few. There are some high-level policy recommendations within the document itself. Besides reporting on various entrepreneurial landscapes globally, we wanted to differentiate the index with a strong follow-through, not just something that sits on a shelf. Post-launch of the index, we were asked to present it at the Chatham House in London with a panel of experts discussing the findings of the index, followed by a strong media coverage, because obviously in Africa we had a section on Africa. It was interesting to see how they were looking at this index to see what changes, what shared learnings could be taken from this. It's also creating a more enabling environment in lower ranking countries. It's not a kind of document that says, oh, well, you're not doing very well. It's more like, what can we do to help you? What can we do? What discussions need to take place for these changes to be implemented? Recently, we also were featured in the World Women Report, and our index is heavily featured in that report also. The index supports the work that we do with Mara Mentor. It's crucial to give entrepreneurs all the necessary tools to start up and grow their businesses, but also the environment that they work in has a huge impact on that, on whether they'll start up correctly, like the ease of doing business. I think one of the areas that we looked at in the index, it's vital that this is taken on board by governments, other policymakers, that sort of thing, to really enable these entrepreneurs. And really, Mara Foundation, we believe that it is really about empowering others and creating a systemic change, and also with a high number of youth unemployed, how do we help them to then channel their energies more positively? Think innovatively. What do they do with those ideas, the innovations that they come up with? They need somewhere to channel that and make that into a successful change. I'll end with a quote from Ashish. Our entrepreneurs are our future. It's time we recognise their contribution to business and society and continue to put the appropriate foundations in place to help them thrive. We're an impact-driven foundation. It's not about building our brand, it's not about anything else, it is really about having the impact on the continent. And organically we grew into a global platform because obviously it shows that there is a real need for foundations like ours to support, but it's working in collaboration with governments and other foundations to make this happen.
Thank you very much, Rona. You may come forward and take your seat while we get a couple of questions from the... Okay. Am I audible? Yes. Okay. I think also that we've gotten all the information related to the foundation itself, to the work that Mara does in terms of funding entrepreneurs, that are in the tech industry, for instance. In your view and in your role in partnerships, how do you think that entrepreneurs in Africa can up their games in better opportunities to access, beyond their participation in the mentorship program, beyond the need to engage on the index? What would be your top 2 advice?
I think trying to So I think the mentoring, for me, the mentoring component is critical, and the tools that we provide on creating those business plans, really thinking them through. And I think without that, I think it's hard to then ask for finance when you've got a great idea, but you don't have the business acumen to back that. So I think that, to me, is the first piece that we need to look at. Also, I think look at digital businesses and so on. How do we enable those entrepreneurs to get on that platform? When we're looking at e-commerce and things, it's thriving. So it's also kind of tapping into the right resources, and I think again the platform is a great place to do that because you've got access to events that are happening in your region. Your mentor can connect you with other people. We work with, like I mentioned, EY, McKinsey, Gallup, again, a group of experts that can help in this area. So I think it's the support function. Just kind of going out for finance isn't necessarily the way I would go. It's really building that business acumen and taking that idea, not from just on paper, but taking it to the next level.
Thank you. Yes, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much for your presentation. One of the issues that I see as a big challenge, especially when we talk about entrepreneurs, and let me take it back to women, is that for the longest time in Africa, anything that a woman does in terms of business was defined in terms of income-generating projects. And income-generating projects have got a life of their own. And it's sometimes very disempowering. I'm sorry to say that. It may help as a kind of stopgap measure in terms of poverty and falling through the cracks. But it does not necessarily empower you to move from an income-generating project into business. How does Mara assist, for example, women from just being mere income-generating earners to become business women? And that's always my challenge, that shift from the one into the other, rather than keep people in perpetual dependence and make them feel that they have got a meaning. Yes, they have got a meaning because they may have something to eat the next day, but they don't have a meaning in terms of being the powerful women that we want them to be.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like you to take a couple of questions so that you can answer them. Another one in front here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My question is, how do you go about their mentorship? And then another thing is, how do you monitor their growth? And then how do you standardize using best international practices for them? Thank you.
Yes, you can answer those two. Transformation from daily Henry to a business person and the mentorship transformation.
With our mentor, one of the things that we wanted to create is not just income generation. We have inspirational women from Africa that mentor on the platform. And it's also that storytelling. Look beyond just that income generation. It's those inspiring role models, not from globally, from the continent itself. And really tap into their stories. And I mean, when I take a shooter's story, at 15 with a $5,000 loan, there's going to be struggles on the way. And we always think small, that we are just income generators. But when we look beyond that and look at somebody else's story, mentors that can help you take a business and enable it to thrive. And that's the area that we really want to tap in. So there's a lot of inspiration in terms of the blogs, the storytelling, the mentors that we celebrate on the platform that are regional, not just global stories that, yes, they've made it great. And it's not about that. It's about creating those powerful women that are then those role models, creating that change. And then, again, them enabling other women to do the same. But it's not, it's not just about, that doesn't create that systemic, that sustainable change. So it is really about taking those inspirational stories and taking them to the next level.
Okay.
Yes, please. So Mara Mentor's an open platform. You sign up as a mentee and you're registered straight away. Mentors go through a specialised team that will then check the credentials to check whether they're mentoring for the right reasons, they have the skill set necessary to mentor an individual and the business. It doesn't necessarily mean that, we did have a criteria that it's 5 years in business, successful in business, but now we have consultants that can also bring a lot to the platform. So we've opened that up a little. And then you can actually reach out. You're given, through the algorithm space in the platform, you're recommended mentors that you should be connecting with. But also search, there's a search facility on there that's quite elastic in terms of you can search in your region what mentor would be best suited, somebody in that industry, or is it a skill set that you require? Maybe the industry specialism that mentor has doesn't necessarily translate into financial literacy. So it's also tapping into 2 mentors at the same time to give you that necessary skill set. We also track measurement by certain metrics. It's very hard to measure mentoring. So the things we look at with the entrepreneur is, the percentage increase in their turnover. I mean, nobody wants to give out the actual figures, but percentages, people are quite easy to work with. So how many people did they employ at the start of their mentoring? How many people do they employ now? And that sort of thing. And what did they gain personally through the platform? We also have a personal development series, so it's not just about growing as an entrepreneur, but growing as an individual as well.
Thank you very much. I have space for 2 more questions. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Angel. I'm from the former Sudan. My father from the north, my mom from the north, from the south. So my question is, we came today here is a common good. And it's, everybody said very brilliant things, very nice things. The thing that attracted me to come to this summit, I saw my country, Sudan, somebody going to speak from there. I was very interested. And also I wanted to speak to His Excellency, the President of Ghana, because I wanted to take a picture of him to see what he's going to say. So right now, we talked about barrier. We talked about enabling people. There is a barrier right now here. Because these people, I wanted, when the people, the first people spoke, I wanted to not go to the people left. I did not have that chance. And I'm an African woman, I want to go back. That lady was right, I want to go back. But would I have the opportunity to go back? No, because there is a barrier already here. I want to speak to that gentleman from my country. I can't. I want to speak to the president from my organization. I can't, because why? There is a barrier. So let us start moving the barrier right now.
But you know that you broke the first barrier by speaking out. So please, I want more people to see that the end to barriers is actually to speak out. When we speak out, we learn to do things a little bit better. The people who put the barrier, I'm sure they didn't put the barrier to stop you from crossing. They put the barrier just to provide access so that the seats that are reserved can be kept reserved. So they were not physical barriers to prevent you from accessing the so-called VIP. But having said that, the whole essence of what we're doing is to get value from what is going to happen on the podium. It's good for us to take pictures, it's good for us to identify and show off on Facebook or on internet, anywhere. But the fact remains that whatever we do here, if we don't take away the substance of the whole essence of what we're here, it's wasted. We've run this series for the past 5 years. Every year it's gotten better and better. But we still have empty rooms. Empty rooms because people do not even want to put £50 as an investment. People do not want to see themselves as contributing to something that is big. You're here, you want to go back home. I came from Abuja yesterday, paid my flight to come here, share my ideas. link up with people. Go back with the knowledge that I'm getting from here. I'm not funded by anyone but my own finances. If I put how much it costs me to come here as the barrier for not coming here, I won't be here and I won't gain nothing. But I interact with here. I met a fantastic business partner last year that changed the way I do business just because of the connection that I get here. That's what you should look at. So I beg you, if you are on that side or on this side, it is not a barrier. Break through that barrier and speak it and talk to the person that you Okay, I think the last one. I saw the hand there. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Samson. Basically, as you was saying some stuff about entrepreneurs and that, let's use me for an example. I've started a business recently, and I'm trying to get global. But what I'm trying to do is bring in the young people, the younger generation. Because I've noticed that in the younger people, there's a lot of talent, but they've been covered down and they've not been they've not had a chance to exhibit their passion. So, how would you help in a way with connecting entrepreneurs here that want to go global with younger people out there to obviously provide them training and what they need to actually get into these businesses, and then we can actually connect and then work together?
Sure. My mentor enables that kind of dialogue. So we have a discussion forum facility on there, which then goes out through the foundation to all the entrepreneurs on the platform. But if you're targeting a certain country, we can also work with you to amplify that message through the platform. We work with a lot of governments that work with youth and young people that are looking to go into business. So again, through the platform, we could facilitate that. And if you want to see me afterwards, please do, and I'll give you my card. But that is something that we can facilitate on the platform. And exactly what you're looking for from young people, what industries, what sectors that you're looking to work in, we can enable that through the platform.
Thank you. And let me add that for those of you that are interested in, especially African women-owned businesses, and you're trying to link up with opportunities in Africa, on the 8th of March, International Women's Day, a group of women in Abuja came together and formed what is now called the Africa 500 initiative. You can get more information on www.africa500.org. The whole idea of Africa 500 is to do the kind of connections that you're talking about now, with a gender focus on more women in business in Africa. Those linkages are going to be there. And please, if you need more information, grab me anywhere around the room. Bring the barriers and come and let's talk about it. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we thank the Executive Director and Head of Global Partnership of Mara Foundation, Rona Kutecha. Thank you for coming. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we